It has been 453 days since now 16-year-old Sebastian Rogers vanished from his home in Hendersonville. His disappearance sparked national headlines, but now his father says the case is losing momentum. With National Missing Children's Day coming up on Sunday, he is raising his voice and demanding urgency. News 2's Caitlin.
We are going to find him. We are going to bring him home. And we're going to find a way to recover from this, and I'm going to watch him grow into a young man and, you know, live the life that he deserves to have.
It just started. Hi, Dad. I know this is family, but tomorrow's Christmas Day.
Forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters. Never opened myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way. All these words I don't just say, and nothing else matters. Trust I seek and I find in you.
Initial search efforts involved local police, the TBI, and the FBI. But those physical searches have since shifted to focus on the investigative side. The last press conference on the case was more than a year ago.
I would love to see them actually conducting more searches. I'd like to have some communication on the tips that have come in just with me, so that I know that when a tip comes in, I'm not following up on what job they're supposed to do.
Seth says
a parent demands answers. We demand answers because our heart is missing. He is my world. I need him. I need him back with me.
Since we first aired the video last month, authorities have said no evidentiary value.
It is of no evidentiary value. It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No,
Why?
because the investigation remains ongoing.
And so it could play a role down the road depending on developments?
We don't know what we don't know.
Spreading flyers, spreading awareness. I want to ask everyone not to forget, and I want to encourage people to keep helping and to keep bringing awareness not only to our son but to all of the missing children, because they all deserve to go home. And I would also like to say that if my son could hear it, that we love him so much, and that we are going to keep searching, we are going to keep looking, we are going to find him, and we are going to bring him home.
Yeah, I'm working on behalf of Sebastian. I am not, my client is Sebastian, and they're the guardians that have the ability to sign.
It just started. Hi, Dad. I know this is family, but tomorrow's Christmas Day. So could you send some decent clothes over to me so that I can wear the decent clothes and be handsome for my birthday with all the decent clothes? Mom!
So close, no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are. No, nothing
Is missing. He is my world. I need him. I need him back with me.
All right, welcome everybody. Happy Friday. Ooh, let me pause this real quick here. Hope you guys like that introduction. Breaks my heart every time to hear that. Let me get this ready here. All right. Let me know how I sound in chat. Give me just 1 second while I set it all up. I got somebody on my roof fixing the AC unit, so it's kind of weird. I've got somebody walking above me. I need a tissue. Yeah, I tried to make it a little emotional because this case just breaks my heart. And the stuff that, again, I don't know everything in this case, but I've heard enough, and it's just something needs to be done. And so anyway, as always, I will bring some evidence, and we're going to talk about some new stuff as well. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, we will kind of cover a couple other things first. Hopefully most of you guys saw the video I put out yesterday of fish sticks exposing, his lies and deception, you name it. It's disgusting. I'm just looking at chat. Let's see here. Yeah, prayers for Seth. Oh my God, it's just something needs to happen. So let's get into it, guys. As always, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch the channel. We'll get right into it. Let me clear that real quick here. So this will be kind of a two-part. We'll get into a little bit of fish sticks lies. I'm just going to add on to my video of yesterday, and then we'll get into this stuff that I have not talked about before, really. Yeah, this is something obviously that yeah, anyway, we'll get when we get there, we'll talk about it. So as always, yeah, if you can, please hit that like button. We got to spread this awareness. We cannot let this case fall away, fade into the background. Again, in this day and age with electronics, all their surveillance, they have the stuff there. Again, as you guys, most of you, if you followed me for a long time, I hate going to the corruption side. I always feel like that's kind of a cop-out. But in this case, I'm going to tell you, and when we get towards the end, yes, there is corruption, and I'll kind of explain it. But yes, there is. It'd be nice to maybe even get a recording from, well, actually, no, I don't think that would happen. But when we get to there, we'll talk about it. But there is, and again, like I said, if you follow my channel, I always feel like that's an easy cop-out, corruption. But yeah, this case, it is. And we'll get to that. So, but let's start with a couple of things from fish sticks. Again, it's just, I'm pretty sure this guy is borderline, if not a narcissist and a compulsive liar. And again, I've always had respect for people that go out and search and rescue, because obviously I've done it. Again, worked on many cases. Not saying I'm a professional. But clearly, to me, this guy is in it for the money. And clearly, whoever's paying him the money, he is going to, whatever. So let's get into his, let's just add on to yesterday's video, and then we'll get into the lights, because I promise you we'll have something we haven't talked about before.
Shady there alone, and they didn't have cameras at that time.
So here on Lord Lodge, he gets asked about surveillance cameras that were, in the home. And that's what Aiden is asking fish sticks here. And listen to his response. And then here, I found this. This is hilarious. Okay, so check this out.
So he was cagey because they were getting them installed. And now I can tell you, they have a state-of-the-art system now, right? Mm-hmm. And but there was no cameras in the house when Sebastian went in. There was none inside. There was none outside. Mm-hmm. They didn't own any, and so, and the people that lived there before them didn't either. It's a really safe neighborhood. It's a nice neighborhood.
So listen to what he said. He said the previous owners didn't have any security.
And I know that seems crazy now, and people say, "Oh, well, she works for ADT." I
think Brink's not ADT.
They didn't own any, and so, and the people that lived there before them didn't either.
So here's Zillow. If anybody's ever done some deep dive in this case, you can go to Zillow and look. This house went up for sale in 2022. There's only been 2 owners because it's kind of a newer development. Built in the early 2000s. It was bought in, and I'll show you here in just a second. It was bought in 2004. I'll have the information. If you guys can't see it, when they put it up on the market, I'm pretty sure you can see a ADT sign there. Again, there's only one previous owner before the stink feet. It's clear as day. They did have security. And again, here is the history. When you look up Zillow, you can see who's owned, it doesn't say who owns it, but, when it went up. So it was bought in 2004. And then those owners, 18 years later, listed it in July of 2022. And then the stink feet bought it in September, at least according to this. Unless this is wrong. But, again, I know it's a newer development from my sources. So again, there's a giant ADT sign sitting right there. Absolutely ridiculous. I swear to God, this guy is a compulsive liar. Thank you so much, Shining Star.
And the people that lived there before them didn't either.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Thank you so much, Geneva. God bless you. I hope you're having a wonderful summer. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jazz. Let me get this other one here.
Cameras, but
I can
say 100%.
Thank you so much, Gypsy Girl. So there's just a little something. Now we're going to get into... Now, this is obviously, I touched on this in my video yesterday, but I wanted to dive into it a little bit more because I'm going to show you something that I didn't mention in that video because it was already kind of really long. But yeah, check this out.
And they did not have cameras. And if they did, I think we would have heard that from law enforcement. I know.
Yeah. There was one last.
All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Love you. And went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise and I was like, I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep.
Oh, I know why I pulled this up. Okay, all right. Yeah, because this is touching on the surveillance. So obviously, it's out there now. It was kind of hush hush, but the rumors are. Allegedly, I have to be careful, of course, but they had surveillance. I mean, she worked for Brinks, right? It sounds so stupid. And most of this neighborhood had surveillance cameras. But yeah, the word on the street is there was surveillance cameras, and they had taken them down just before Sebastian went missing. Then the reason why I also pulled this up, this particular interview. So this was done by Chronicles of Olivia. Now I have to kind of be careful how I say this. Now she has an extension of a lot of people that know her, work with her, maybe in the background and stuff. Anyway, one of them had contacted me about this interview, and they also were involved with helping search with the Cajun Navy. And so I spoke with this source for a long time, and yeah, they told me, there was some shady stuff, and I want to be careful because I don't want to be speaking for Olivia. This is really the people in the background, right? Because she's got other people. I heard it was really shady when they did this, from what I understand, right? So don't quote me. Don't say that that's what they quoted, but it was something that they, and then basically with the surveillance, they had seen some shady stuff. So that's all I'm going to say there. Whenever this case does get solved, I will obviously back up. I have the text messages and stuff, but I'm not going to burn my sources. But yeah. I can tell you, the people that were doing this interview and the people behind the scenes, it was very uncomfortable, and they had seen some stuff that was very shady. So I'll just leave it at that.
Listen,
I'm curious about the glasses. I don't know, that's tough. I did hear something about that, but there's glasses are so common, but obviously you want to look at, you never want to overlook something.
Like I said, I've got over 100 hours of surveillance footage now from that neighborhood, and that's because.
Okay, so now we're going to get into this. I know I touched this if you saw my video yesterday, but we're going to go a little bit deeper on this because I just have to, because there was something I just didn't, the video was very long enough, but we're going to touch on this because this is absolutely ridiculous.
I went and talked to neighbors, and every single one of them, every single one, welcomed me. And if they had video surveillance, they gave it to me. The only person that would not talk to me, as the only person that had something to hide and wouldn't talk to me.
So I find that statement interesting because it's clear he did not talk to everybody. Because if he had talked to the neighbor that was walking the dog on Devon, he would have then clearly, if he did talk to him, then the guy would have been, I walk my dog every night, so I probably would have triggered the camera. He might have seen me. So clearly, no, that's a lie. He didn't talk to every single person.
Video surveillance of the whole neighborhood. I can watch that whole search going on. I can see the whole construction site. I can see down Kellen. I can see up Kellen. I can see in her yard.
So out of his own mouth right there, he just says that this whole entire area, again, this is, the main point to get into the construction zone. And here he is literally admitting, of course we already know, that this area is covered just by one home. Just by one home's surveillance cameras that are, they got them everywhere. Covers everything. The main intersection, and looking back at the construction zone, and I'll show an example.
Does not line up with what she said, and also, look.
So again, that's just two. They got more, but we know the one killing in Devon, and then of course they have one that's looking back this way as well, and then of course one that's looking down killing. Anybody going up Kellen or across Devon would have been caught on camera, but this guy is just obsessed with trying to get him into the construction zone. But of course, we know that's all bullshit. But I think it's kind of funny how he literally just said, we can see all this, all these main points up on Kellen and Dev and towards the construction zone. But yeah. So I always thought it was funny before he ever got involved. He put out this tweet talking about, he should hire a top private investigator who specializes in missing person search and rescue. An investigator who would collaborate with state, federal, and law enforcement, search and rescue. And then at the end he says, instead of interacting with YouTube / social media. But what does he do when he gets hired? The complete opposite.
So no, am I working side by side with law enforcement in this case? No, and I'm not trying to either. I don't reach out to them. They don't reach out to me. They 100% know I'm there. We gave them formal indication, and they responded back, and they said he's welcome on the case, and that was it. So.
Yeah, it is a crime. That is a crime. And they went to the Texas Roadhouse. Okay, I don't want to get sidetracked, but yes, you are correct. And yes, there was an incident at the Texas Roadhouse where him and Kit Kat tried to go to the Roadhouse, get that footage, and were upset because, Dog's team had got there first. And again, if you're all about transparency and you're hired for Sebastian Rogers, that's your client. Why are you being so secretive? So this interview, this is important. This is done on January 20th of this year. Remember, this is literally just a month away from the 1-year anniversary.
In the last week, I do believe that they have something of him. Listen, I'll be honest with you. We have something from after midnight of a person we can't identify. I don't know if it's him. I'm not starting to remember, but so I think they might be in the same situation where there might be other cameras that we don't know about.
Vehicles in any of the
I do want to get to that in just a second. There's just one last thing I wanted to clarify with this video you're talking about, which I assume if it becomes relevant for the public to know, you would release it, right?
So
no, he doesn't want to release it. He already knows what it is, and they're going to wait for the anniversary because obviously they hired this guy, and he needs to bring something forward, right? Because this is the big guy. Yeah, I mean, remember, there's only one owner before that. Again, it's not like there was like 3 owners before that, right, where they just left it. So I do agree, yes, you could just have a random ADT, but remember, it was built in 2000, there was only one owner. So when it was up for sale, you could see the ADT sign. So either they went and stole it, and again, that is, you can't get in trouble for that. I did look that up. So, again, I mean, I could at least see that argument. But again, there was only one homeowner before that because it was built in 2000. Thank you so much, Angel of Life. All right, let's get into the nonsense.
Not necessarily because, listen, I can bring that up and say, listen, this.
But again, oh yeah, so of course this was done because. Yeah, they spent. God knows how much money they spent. Of course, it's we've talked about this. It was so funny how every time he's always talking about how people are, making money off Sebastian Rogers, but obviously he probably made more money than anybody. And he claims that he's working for Sebastian, but we know that his true clients are Crispy and Kit Kat. And he needed. Obviously, he's getting paid a lot of money. He needs to, have something, right? He's getting paid. He's got to show something, right? For, what he's been doing. So what did he do? He held on to this one little clip that he knew was bullshit. Again, he talked about this clip weeks before. I want to say a month prior to this. He had this clip 2 months prior. And I explained it in the video yesterday. I have the same footage. And it only takes less than 20 minutes once you figure out the time. And, there's only so many events. And then you just look before or after, and you can put 2 and 2 together. But again, so he held on to this because, again, they hired him, and they had to, he had to show something for that anniversary. So let's get into this nonsense.
Things that there's maybe some hope or something, but that's something that is for investigators, law enforcement, private investigators on the case. The public's not entitled to that. There's no reason to give that, because what happens is, look what happened.
Yeah. Again, here he is saying, yep, I should collaborate with state and federal law enforcement. And here he's literally not doing that. And of course, he's all over YouTube. All right. So now,
just before the anniversary,
we are at February. So remember, that was January 20th. But he had this footage probably a month before that. I already knew his horse shit, but he tried to, blame the neighbor. And we'll get into that because so this is February, I want to say 20th or 21st. I want to say 21st. So about 5 days before his anniversary. where Katie and Chris Proudfeet would finally make an appearance in regards to Sebastian Rogers. Fish Sticks with his clients sent over footage to local news stations just a few days before the 1-year anniversary. He specifically wanted them to hold on to this footage until the actual anniversary, but because these news outlets were thinking, just like most normal humans that have an actual soul, that this should be released immediately, as if what Fish Sticks was claiming were So you can see it's February 21st, so again, I had a lot of connections, and I heard that he sent this to, a couple of networks, obviously local networks, but he didn't want this released until the anniversary. And at the same time, and I'll show you here in a minute, they wanted to do, so when you see like that interview with Kitty and Crispy with the journalist, obviously usually those are recorded a day or a couple of days before they actually release it, and keep that in mind. So again, but of course when these news outlets got this footage, well, they're like, again, they're thinking like normal human beings that actually have a soul, and thinking, yeah, we need to put this out there, somebody could solve this, right? And yeah, they got mad. Potentially true, this information should be released to the public.
Video that the family of Sebastian Rogers believes could be a break in the case. Sebastian has been missing almost...
So this is huge for two reasons. Now, this particular journalist, listen to what she says. This is so important.
Almost 1 year now. His mother and stepfather, so that's Katie and Chris Proudfoot, have hired a private investigator to look into this case. And he has been scouring hundreds of hours of surveillance video. He says he has found video that could really be something. It could possibly, he says, it could be Sebastian.
Now watch, she's going to look down because she's got notes, and those notes obviously came from Fish Stick and his soulless clients. And here, as you can see right up here, Steve Fish Sticks, I think they misspelled his name, but it happens. Yeah, watch her look down at the notes, because obviously guess who gave her the notes?
He says this is video that you, the public, have never seen. And it's video that shows someone, a person, wearing dark clothing precisely at 12:17 a.m. This is the night that Sebastian is missing. It shows this person who comes out in the neighborhood and then hides behind a vehicle when a person walking a dog walks nearby, and then comes back out. So now they're trying to identify that person. Again, they feel this is a break in the case, and it's video that you, the public, have never seen.
Yep, that's right. That piece of garbage, and we'll get into the footage, literally tried to say that there's not one, but two people, and there's one guy hiding. But that's complete horseshit. He actually told local news, literally, that there is a person hiding in that footage, and we know, for most of you, I'm sure 99% have seen the footage, there is no guy hiding. There's just one guy walking his dog. He actually had the effing nerve to actually tell the local news this story. This is absolutely the most disgusting thing I have ever seen happen in a missing persons case. I think charges should be brought to this piece of garbage. Now, do you see this lovely journalist here? She may look familiar. That's right. It's the same one. Like I said, the interviews are probably recorded, maybe.
It shows this person who comes out in the neighborhood and then hides behind a vehicle when a person walking a dog walks nearby, and then comes back out.
So, she has a son that's hiding and waiting for somebody in the dark, late night on the 25th, and there needs to be some explanation.
Late night on the 25th. Basically, he's really just saying midnight.
Waiting for that. I'll just leave it at that.
And this is obviously the footage that they would eventually release. And he tried to use this to throw a mother's child in danger. Again, I wish, again, another lawsuit from another person sue his ass. It's just, again, another most disturbing thing I've ever seen in a missing person case, because that lady, that person wouldn't talk to you. So you go and cry, and then you literally try to put a child in danger because, you and your clients have no heart, no soul. And again, I still get a few of the, people, from the other side, and they go, yeah, where's that footage of, the kid, hiding behind the car? Well, here's my question to you. Why don't you go ask Fish Sticks? Because I guarantee you, he'll never be able to produce that, because there is no guy hiding behind the damn car. He made that up because he's a heartless piece of shit.
I literally have the same footage as Fish Sticks, so I'll explain how this surveillance works, as it records 24/7 and also records any motion detected by the camera.
Oh, wow.
And those clips, called events that are triggered by motion, began to save in a specific folder, and they are basically placed in a chronological order with folders that have the date, time, and more. This is an example of how it would look. Each time an event is recorded, it creates a folder and they get put in order. So if I looked at the clip at 12:17 a.m., I can see the events that happened before or after. So when I look at the folder before the clip shared by Fish Sticks team, I can see an event that happened minutes before the one they released.
And I've got more to show you. Again, so this just tells me that he did not talk to all the neighbors, because if he would have talked to this neighbor, he would have found out that, oh yeah, the guy walks his dog down Devon, then comes down Kellen, and he comes about to this point somewhere around here, and then he turns around. I'm sure since he's done that with the dog, they get into, a routine. And then they know when to turn around. So again, you go back the clip before in the files that I have, that he has, and you would have seen this guy turn on his light. Now, I'll also show you something that I didn't show in the video.
Guess what? It looks like a person coming out of their home and began to walk their dog. Now, because they walk up Devon Court first, this clip ends, but then when the same guy walking his dog comes down Kellen Avenue, we can see the next event recorded. Yep, the same one that Fish Sticks team released.
So now, obviously, he walked up his dog up Devon, and then once he kind of came out of frame, because up there, the clip stops. But then when he starts coming back, it started up, and so now he's walking down Kellen, and then he'll walk about to the car, and then that's when they turn back around.
Least. Now, not only would they have known this, but let's just say they're not...
Where's the guy hiding? He literally just told... the news anchor that there's some guy hiding behind this car, but
the brightest crayon in the...
Again, where is he at? And then again, I say to those other people that think there is some clip, well, why don't you go ask Fish Sticks to produce it, right? But he never will, because he's full of shit. My apologies, but yeah, you're getting snarky, Chris, because wait until we get to the end, because I'm so upset. God bless you, Chris, and thank you so much, Jules. God bless you. Let me play this and I'll catch up on chat.
As you can see, when the neighbor on Devon begins to walk his dog, his front porch light comes on in the first clip. Then in the clip that Fish Sticks and his team of morons released, you can clearly see that this guy still has his front porch light on. It's safe to say that this is the same person walking their dog.
Absolutely nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. And then check this out. Pamela Hill, thank you, or Howe. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Thank you, Pamela, for the 5 gifted Mob Crew memberships. God bless you. If you do get gifted, if you could thank them. Snark on Chris. Yeah, I hate doing it, man. But this case, just because I have a lot of connections, it is, and it's just with it, like I said, in this day and age, with everything, surveillance, elevated Apple Watches, weird stuff like that. Cameras getting taken down, even though you work for Brinks, all of a sudden your cameras are all missing. And now, a group of people come to do an interview and they're installing cameras and stuff, and they see some fishy stuff. And even before that, it's pretty creepy. So here you can see it's 2:58. So obviously this is when the 3 a.m. car comes. But I wanted to show this because once this guy goes back in his home, he leaves this light on. So he leaves his front front porch light on. So now, if Sebastian, again, if he even tries to sneak around these homes and tries to get the construction, you now have this guy who has his light on. Anybody that walks past that light, this thing is triggering it, right? So, again, he is not going to that construction. Could have learned that with this footage. I would have known half a day, right? Well, maybe maybe a full day, but my God, but they knew, right? Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, that's and I apologize if you're on a cell phone, but yeah, that's his light. It's on for the rest of the night. But I just wanted to show that. Then there's a couple other things, and again, we'll get to the meat and potatoes of the video here in a bit. And but yeah, here's me zooming in. I thought I did this a little bit quicker. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it was absolutely disturbing. I wish there could be a lawsuit with that kind of stuff. Old lady, I'm sorry. If I can find it. Old lady. I'm sorry, old lady. I can't see your comment. If you can, just put it again. I can't find it. It's really hard when you have nearly 700 people. If you can try to repeat it in mods. So anyway, and then I kind of showed this, but I'm going to show two things. So there's something else I didn't show. Again, just to kind of show how ridiculous. Because again, it's not like they had, this was all organized. They didn't have the 24/7 footage, so it's not like they're scanning, right? Most of the footage that he got was the events, right? So you just get, you got your folders, and they're mostly or folders of files, and typically they should be in order of events, right? Just depending on what service you have, if it's in the cloud. Anyway. So again, if he would have just gone through, and I'm sure he did, but guess what? In the morning at 6:20, well, look who we have. And I know I showed this in my old video, but I have another one just to show you how absurd this is. So here he is doing his normal routine again, walking the dog. Obviously, this is a few minutes before Kit Kat comes. And then just about a minute later, oh, look who we have here. It is the guy from that home that literally does the Kellen and Devon Ave, or Devon Court, I'm sorry, walk. Absolutely ridiculous. He would have known this. I guarantee he knew this. But again, he got, God knows how much he got paid. And again, all he was doing was attacking everybody on Twitter. Couldn't put out any good theories. I mean, I was debunking things left and right. It was almost, it was a job. And it was nuts, the nonsense he's putting out. And then I think he knew, with these kind of people, that, he had to have something for them for that anniversary. And that video was it. But he knew that it was BS, right? Let me take a sip here. Did old lady put... I'm just looking at chat here. Okay. I know some people are fixated on this guy. I am really not really fixated on this guy, but I know some people are. Now that I know that there's corruption, and we'll talk about that here in a bit, and the whole green hoodie person being cleared, I'm not sold. Green hoodie is right back on my radar. Now, look at what they're wearing, and we'll kind of touch on this because there is a question. Did he actually even get to the home, right? Video. What video? What are we talking about? I'd love to know. I don't know where her comment is. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Yeah, I worked on that for like about an hour and a half. Yeah, no, green hoodie. Yeah, now knowing that there's corruption. Yeah, that. She showed up literally 2 minutes before they're coming out. No, something went down here.
And let's be honest. I mean,
so think about this, right? So there was a couple PIs, and again, I don't know who I don't know if Stacy was with Seth or what. How I forget. I need to do a little bit more research on that. But this is before he was obviously hired, and this is before clearly he was, even though he said his client was Sebastian, we know who his clients were. Stink Feet. He was there to cover Stink Feet. But this was before. And this is what he says here.
I mean, because we need to find out what happened. I mean, if Sebastian didn't take that trash out, there's a problem, right? Yeah. So
should I react to it? Is it like on YouTube or something? If you guys want me to react to it at the end, I'll see. I don't know. I have to see how long it is. Oh, good. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm gonna. Oh. I'm just getting started, Fish Sticks. Oh, I'm just getting started, buddy. What you did in this case is, again, I can't even think of the words to describe the disgusting. Just, my God. No soul. You were disgusting. Shame on you. It was so clear what you were trying to do. It's, again... Unless you think people are just absolute idiots. Again, I'm pretty sure this guy is borderline narcissistic. I mean, how much he puts out tweets. I mean, again, I am a social media person. I tweet like once a month. This guy is like tweeting like 5 times a day sometimes. It is nuts. And then again, one interview with the Lore Lodge. I haven't even finished everything. Again, there's still more stuff that I'm listening to. I'm like, I got to make a list. I got to write down. It is nuts. All right, is it short? Yeah, I'll get it. We'll react to it. I can't wait. But yeah, here's Fish Sticks before he got hired. So not to get off, Right. Remember, this is all alleged, and this is for entertainment purposes only.
Listen, I'm just being honest. Everybody thinks I'm protecting you. I'm not. I want this case to break, and I want it to be over, and I want him to be found. I want to see that video. I'll listen, but I'm going to just tell her, but I'm never going to see it. TBI is never going to.
Okay, so he is. So they are having a conversation about the neighbor across the street, where allegedly you see a blob, a shadow, pulling out the trash, right? So that's what they're talking about. Now, so keep in mind what he's saying here.
Right.
So, but I wish they would, or show it to the public or do something, because it literally, I think that video is the case.
Bam. Before he gets hired, look at him. He's actually doing what a PI would do. Somebody who wants to investigate. He's saying, okay, we know that he was seen at Texas Roadhouse. We know that's for sure. That's confirmed. We only have his voice on the, because remember, she has a dash cam, and we'll get into that. So that's where it kind of gets a little iffy. Did he actually make it home? And then, so obviously, we need to know, did he actually make it home? And all they have is this blob. And again, why wouldn't they put that out in the public, right? Again, with the people that we've talked about, what, Reddit and 4chan, what social media, when people come together and you've got some of the smartest people, that are super intelligent with, programs and software, and they do have, basically almost basically the software that, FBI would have. And again, why not put that in the public? Oh, I'm just getting started. Again, for those that have been with me, I'm not saying I'm a professional. I've worked on the Dior case. I've worked on, I can't forget, shame on me, the one in Texas, the cold case, Dylan Rounds, worked on Aiden Clune. Obviously, that Aiden Clune is so close to being, solved. We found his shoes. It's just a matter of time, Fortunately, they didn't have a great search they did search, but fortunately they didn't find anything. But again, it's a massive place. But finding his shoes was big. I think they need to go out there with some metal detectors or, again, some more cadaver dogs. But it's just a place. But anyway, again, we've worked on some cases, and we've also interviewed a lot of family members. Again, I interviewed Candace so many times. And, she was so, wanting to get, cause it was kind of the same situation where, the one, law enforcement county was not doing shit for, Dylan Rounds, and she finally got it into another county, who was also the FBI was assisting with, and boom, they arrested Brenner, the guy that killed poor Dylan Rounds, and then unfortunately had to take another year before he confessed and then gave up where his body was. But again, they screwed up right from the beginning. They should have arrested Brenner in that case, if you're familiar with that. But anyway, not to get sidetracked. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Yet, and what they admit that they must have just missed is when they heard that there was footage of Sebastian taking the trash out, the trash can out. That was news. They were surprised to hear that because. Okay,
so remember. Okay, I want you to list this. Another, in my opinion, this is kind of a half lie. So remember, he says, well, we have no idea. He already had former PIs. I think he had a connection with one of them. And so, of course, none of them have seen it. They heard that allegedly TBI says, yeah, it's him, but that's it. Now let's listen to what he says here.
They didn't see that. Mm-hmm. And so what the husband told me was, I was sitting with them at their dinner table. He said, he said, I didn't know if they were being real about that or not. And he's like, I went to the command center and I said, listen, I've given you all my footage and I'm just going to ask you one question. And he's like, but I really need to know this.
So again, for context, this is the neighbors across the street. And they, of course, they sent over all their footage, but they kept on to the events. But I guess the one event that allegedly has, somebody walking the trash can out, they didn't see it. But so they went to the command center to ask them because they wanted to know.
Because this is my neighbor, and I just want to know for my own sanity, like, did you really see Sebastian on that footage or not? And they told him absolutely. And so I believe them. I don't think they're and keep in mind, told him absolutely. And so I believe him. I don't think they're. I'm not.
Well, of course he believes him now because he's hired, and of course you have to have Sebastian there because if he didn't make it there, well then your clients are guilty, and you can't have that because they're paying you. So again, you are now confirmation bias because you are paid by the stink feet, and you're a soulless, heartless piece of shit, and that's what you get. Confirmation bias. Even though he hasn't seen it, and before he was hired, here he is actually acting like an actual investigator.
I want this case to break, and I want it to be over, and I want him to be found. I want to see that video. I'll listen, but I'm going to just tell her, but I'm never going to see it. TBI is never going to.
Right.
So, but I wish they would, or show it to the public or do something, because it literally, I think that video is the case.
Right there. Right there. Before he gets hired, there he is. Once actually speaking truth and actually making sense. Right there. Right? But what happens after he gets hired?
I think that video is the case.
So now, again, because I have my sources. Which one should we tip off here? So I don't know. Can anybody let me know in chat? Did Mr. E Crimecast, the people that follow them, great channel, of course. We're going to be in contact as well. Did they ever talk about? I know they. I just don't get a lot of time to watch other people's shows, but does anybody know in chat if in their recent ones did they talk about the corruption? Let me know in chat if they have, and I'll speak about it here in just a minute. But you know, again, make it make sense. This footage gets released by At Night and Dog's team, right? And then about a week or less than a week later, they find this person and clear him, right? They've had this footage since day one, and I mean, it's obviously there's a huge interaction as they're coming out. I don't know how multiple agencies couldn't miss this huge clue with this green hoodie person showing up minutes before they come, and she's standing right by Katie's car, and then all they do is go into the bathroom and come back out, and then they're gone, right? Absolutely ridiculous. And then they tell us, yeah, we found them after they put out the footage. Literally, like 7 months later. And I think it was in December, right? December when they allegedly cleared green hoodie. My effing ass. Lies. Absolute lies. Yeah, has anybody watched any of the Mr. and Mrs. E's Crimecast lately? Yeah, someone did a show about the corruption. Okay. Yeah, I'll get into it here in a bit. Yes, they are. I love them. Much respect for them. But yeah, so I had some sources speak with some big people, commissioners, I believe. I think it was commissioners. In like a neighboring county. I don't want to take this with a little bit of grain of salt. I think I know I was commissioner. And they were trying to do something. They basically said, yeah, there's corruption. I'm pretty sure it's commissioner. If anybody knows in the chat. But yeah, there's a name. I forget the name. If I can release the name, I'm pretty sure I can. I'd have to get with my source. But yeah, multiple people talked to this person. This guy has been trying to do some stuff, but he says, and of course he knows about this case, and he knows, yeah, there's corruption. And it just makes me absolutely sick to my stomach because I hate going that route because I feel like that's just such an easy cop-out. But yeah, there is. It is. I mean, it's clear as day, right? They have all this footage. We know in previous cases, if they're stuck on something, they release, a screenshot or a little clip, in this day and age. But no, they're not going to do that. They want people to just not talk about this case and hope it goes away. But you know what? That is not going to happen on my watch. Oh, is that a name? I don't know if it's Refresborough. Yeah, is that a lot? Angel saying, yeah, I can't remember the name. Again, I'll have to. Yeah, Strangler, right? Okay. So obviously, the reason why we're talking about this, and then of course we'll get to the lights because I do have a big thing. I don't know if Green Hoodie died or not. I don't even know if that person's actually been really identified. Keep that in mind. But yeah, if that happened, that would be kind of weird.
Wait, was that on Saturday? You know what? No.
Okay, so here we go. Now we're going to get into the big meat and potatoes of this, and then if we get time, I'll react to Fisher. It'll probably light another fire under my ass, and I'll just keep going. Eventually, I'll just do like one video where I'll just break down every single lie, if you guys want that. But thank you, South Oz. Love you and your work, Chris. Thank you. God bless you. And of course, I will do other cases. I'll probably do. If I don't do a live, I'll do an update video with the Lily and Jack case because I know there's a little bit going on. It kind of got a little weird, and I don't know. No, but I'm still keeping an eye on that case as well. Okay, so this is big. This is really big. This is the big, the finale here. So let's listen to Sweetie Pilo. Obviously, she had, spoken with this homeowner, which had the, kind of one of the most important footage. Of course, they gave over all of theirs, but they did hold on to the motions, the events. So let's see what they had to say. This is very important.
It was on Saturday evening.
So Saturday evening, the night before. Let's see how he's acting, Sebastian.
But I can't say it was around a dinner time. But it was Saturday evening. He's observed skipping and hopping along, checks the mail, goes back in to the garage, and then goes probably.
So he is seeing clearly, and he's skipping, probably just being a kid, go, hey, go check the mail. And so he's skipping around, hopping around, right? Like a kid would, or a teenager. Keep that in mind, but there's much more.
Back into the house. Now, about a week after this information was uncovered, I guess, from law enforcement, or it's actually no, about a week into the investigation,
Yep.
Then Katie comes out and says, hey, by the way, I have dash cam footage. So Sebastian is actually heard in the vehicle on dash cam during that drive home. So we know.
So again, she had dash cam. So keep that in mind. And also, let me see where I do. Because remember, the video, the camera is facing the road. So, maybe he's heard at the beginning, right? And then, if he's not talking, did she make a quick stop again?
Oh, for sure. 100%. And so far, my source has been on point. Okay. It came out in the Nancy Grace of, everything that I've been told so far has been top notch. But what I understand, the only lights that were on were the garage lights. When Katie says that she put him to bed at 9 o'clock, the lights went out at exactly 9:08 p.m.
Yeah, you're right. The van isn't there unless it's sitting, because no, it wouldn't be out on the road here. They normally park it, back here, right here. Yeah, the van is not there. That's, unless there's a small chance it's, in front of this, but I don't know. I mean, these roads they're not very wide. You can still get two cars going by, but that's a great point. That her van is not there. I wonder if Mama Socks was very interesting. Okay, let's move on because that's great catch. Great catch. I'm gonna look into that. Okay. So we know lights were on. This is the big reveal here. So I got to kind of build it up here. We know these floodlights were on. She says the garbage.
Then
she also says the garage lights are on. She didn't use the word floodlight. So I do wonder if that is true. That is very disturbing. Of course, Fish Sticks puts this damn garbage truck right in front of everything that's important in this video. God, him in garbage trucks again. Be really tragic if he ended up in one. Anyway,
at about 11:45, her light goes out. Katie's light. So the mother's.
This is very important. I promise I want to give you a big reveal here in a minute. So again, remember this camera is in auto mode, and if you don't know what auto mode it means, now when you see the picture of the garbage truck, because it's got all the lights and stuff, it goes into nighttime color mode. So that's why you've got the orange, amber lights and the red lights. That is now color mode. But once that garbage truck and there's no, kind of major light sources on that road, it's now going to go back into infrared mode where it's black and white. And that's why it's getting triggered all the time when they're kicking on their lights, even though it's, way out there. Well, not way out there. It's about approximately 150 feet. Give or take. But again, this thing is getting set off motion just by them turning on their lights. So keep that in mind.
And this is crazy, but I want to tell you, what was observed was the living room light on, the garage light on. There was a door that was open.
It's a window, not the door.
And I think it was open for a long period of time.
Okay, we're going to get to the reveal here in a minute.
The entrance for, so it's even extra secure in that regard. Does mom park in garage regularly? I asked. Yes, always. Mom always parks in the garage. Chris has a big truck.
Okay.
Bruising, anything. Everything about us. Our light was on the entire night. So if the light to the garage was on the entire night, I feel like could that...
See, and that's weird. So she doesn't say floodlights. So, and again, this is the garage. So if anybody doesn't know, this is the garage here. So these two windows would be the garage. This would be the kitchen. The kitchen kind of runs kind of parallel west for a bit. And then you have the dining room here where they've done the interview. And then Sebastian's bedroom window here. But she sees the light. And then this is the window where they saw a silhouette. I don't know if we have a timestamp for that, but clearly it was an event because that's all the footage they have. They don't have the 24/7, so unless they watched that and they not jotted down. So I should be kind of careful. Maybe that was an event, but they jotted down that they saw a silhouette.
Suggest that, again, with a very well-planned, so Sunday being the day before he disappears. He is observed taking the trash out pretty late at night. I can't remember if it was like 6 or 7, but it was somewhat late at night. I guess if you don't get your trash out early.
Okay. All right. So here's the big reveal. So obviously the story is there, you can't tell who the person is. It just looks like a blob, which I find very disturbing because again, even though TBI, the corruption, says yes, we're not going to show it, even though I think that would be so huge, right? I think that vindicate again a little bit of that, these the stink feed, but still, again, there's still much more shady shit that happens later on. But here's the main point. So this neighbor obviously had footage from days before, right? And I'll answer your question here, Jules, in just a minute. Again, I have to be very vague on it, but I'm glad you brought that up because so when they we're looking at, okay, so remember, this is Sunday night, right? When he goes missing Sunday night into Monday morning, right? When they look at Saturday, when they look at Friday, when they look at all the days before that they still had, guess what was on? Their front porch light, that house was lit up at night, every night before he went missing. Every night, as far as the footage that they had. And I can even confirm there are some other sources before Sebastian went missing that yes, when they went by that house at night, especially the front porch light was on. Well, guess what? Front porch was not on this night. Absolutely ridiculous. So let's listen to.
You're not gonna you're gonna miss the opportunity. So the trash.
And I'm pretty sure Sweetie Pilo, there may be where she mentioned some of that. But yeah, I'm sure there might even be because I think she talks about it at least on for Saturday. But again, yeah. This neighbor talked to a lot of people in the beginning. A lot of people, clearly even Sweetie Paula, even YouTubers, right? So yep, the front porch light was on every night from what they could see, and they went out of their way to mention that to many people because they found that obviously suspicious. That the night he goes missing, the only things on is the floodlights on the garage. Yeah. Yep.
Guy comes at so early, and on that day he came at 5:12 a.m.
And is it inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside. That reminds me of another question. Do you guys have a motion sensor light or lights on the outside of your house?
Yes, we do have lights on the outside of our house.
Did they activate that night?
They're not motion censored. We have lights.
Were they on that night?
No,
okay.
ma'am.
Were they on that night? So the lights were out the whole night?
Yes, ma'am. We don't typically turn the floodlights on.
Were there any lights outside the house on at all?
Just my little solar lights that we have in the garden.
So she says in the garden, which I don't know what garden they have. Clearly, if there were solar lights, because again, this is looking at the backyard, we should see them, right? But again, we got just bedroom lights on, and of course, Katie's bedroom. It's too bad this tree's in the way, but we can still see that her bedroom light is on. This is one of the windows. The other one's here. Clearly, she has those shutters, but apparently she forgot to close that one all the way. But yeah, so I don't see no solar lights in the backyard. And so clearly I think she means in the front. So if those were on, again, that's a big deal. But again, no front porch light on.
There's two lights on the side of the house above the garage that are on at all times.
Oh yeah, those are on.
You leave your garage floodlights on. Katie doesn't know it, even though she just came home from Texas Roadhouse, and either they were on then, or she was the one that turned them on. But then, of course, she plays stupid. But yeah, they had the front porch, and it was well known that was on all the days before he went missing.
Oh, there's a light above the garage. It's on at all times.
There's two, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so those lights were on?
So why would you leave your floodlights on the garage, but you would not for your front door, right? Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, your comment. I'm sorry. Where'd that comment go? Ooh. Okay, I got to be very careful with this, but I want to shake some things up here. So if you guys remember, I did mention that on their, those other people, the other group, they probably don't know it, but they're, and again, I'm not saying this person's a double agent or anything, but this particular person, woman or man, is in the middle, right? But maybe playing one side more just to, I don't know. We'll have to see. But, yep. I will probably leave it at that. But, yep. This whole time, there is, and I'll reveal, once there's a rest, I'll reveal, there's just stuff that I can't, because I'd just burn a source, and it's a big source. But yep, that got out because they tested the Apple Watch, and I'll leave it at that. Like I said, just be careful if you got an Apple Watch and your heart rate gets elevated. Be careful around like 3 a.m. I don't know, maybe the Apple Watches get wonky at 3 a.m. and tells you got an elevated heart rate. Kind of weird when you're sleeping, right? And those damn Apple Watches. It happens. But I'll leave it at that. Oh, so should I respond to the fish sticks thing? If I can. Let's see. Do I have any more?
The reason I'm asking is because I heard you say earlier, Mr. Proudfoot, that your neighbors have been very, very.
So, yeah, I wanted to play this. This is hilarious. This even just backs up what I'm saying. So listen to what Nancy says. Oh, this is hilarious.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I heard you say earlier, Mr. Proudfoot, that your neighbors have been very, very forthcoming with their Ring camera info. And I was trying to determine if any lights were on, what, if anything, they may have caught. But I understand from your previous interviews that nothing of any evidentiary value was caught. And also, in another statement,
I love that now because, again, it's so true that neighbor did. And that's the funny thing. Fish Sticks goes after the one neighbor and says, oh, she's going around talking to everybody, da-da-da-da-da. But yet, this neighbor right across the street from them, day one, there was multiple neighbors out there. Again, she was talking with Sweetie Pilo. I'm pretty sure those came out before, the other neighbors. So, again, it's just the hypocrisy, But, of course, if your thoughts don't align, if you're critically thinking, then, you're a bad person. So, I just want to point this out. We've got a couple more things, and then we'll respond to Fish Sticks, and then we'll wrap up here. And thank you, mods. God bless you guys. But, okay. So, here's the thing. So remember, if he is the one that takes out the trash, let's look at what he's wearing. Because think about this. If he's the one taking out the trash, let's see what he's wearing here. So he's got a black t-shirt, so that's not a good sign. But he's got these, fairly bright jeans. And then he has the black shoes, but they got the white rims on them. But then I started noticing what Katie's wearing, right? I thought that was kind of interesting. Even though Katie's, a little bigger than Sebastian. It's kind of interesting. They have the same, I don't think the same exact shoes, but they have the kind of like the same design. I thought that was interesting. Of course, she's got all dark clothing. Very interesting. Let's see. Trying to get it where they get up here. Because remember, if he's the one that takes out the trash, but as you can see right here, notice they both got the same type of shoes. I don't know if they're the same brands, but they've got the white rim at the bottom, and then the black, right? Or white soles. I'm not sure if they're white soles, but at least on the rim there. I thought that was interesting. But again, these jeans, I don't know how well they would pick up, but it's odd that it's just a blob walking the trash can out, right? And then you've got mother, definitely got the black, I don't know if, black sweatpants or whatever, maybe a dark blue sweatshirt, but it's all dark. Everything she's wearing is more or less dark. So I just find that interesting if that the theory is, he didn't actually take out the trash can, because I find it interesting when he went to go get the mail, he's hopping, skipping around, and remember he's supposed to have just had a great day, even though it was not that, because we heard he was very disconnected. Of course, Seth would say it better than I, because he's seen some of the footage from I think the bowling alley, and he says something's wrong. This poor kid, man. This poor kid. Ugh. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that's kind of interesting? They have the same shoes, and she's got that dark, could she just pass off as Sebastian putting the trash can out? Really interesting. Again, I'm 50-50 on it. I just find it weird that it just you would not be able to tell 100% it's Sebastian, right? Coming out, Here's the other question, but of course we haven't seen the footage. Would the floodlights be on? That'd be huge. It almost tells me like the floodlights weren't on when this happened, and that was probably done on purpose. Again, I'm just speculating. I heard that someone said that Katie always stops on Sebastian out, so he go front door. The story is that she pulled in and somebody came out from the garage. Maybe that's what they normally did. I don't know. I don't want to, say anything that I don't know. I always try to be honest. Again, I'm not perfect and I do make mistakes. But the story is that she pulled in and then someone comes out. But I would think if the floodlights were on, like, you would just know, right? I mean, it's not going to be clear as day, but I mean, I think you would know, like, is it Sebastian or, Kit Kat there? No, I wonder if those floodlights didn't come on until later. Again, I don't know. Something to think about. Yeah, underscore. Yeah, I mean,
it is.
That's one angle I haven't really looked at as much. Where they went, all these, vacations or whatever the hell they were doing, probably, planning their escape just in case it's something, But all right, okay. About 20 more minutes. Well, maybe less than that. We'll see. Depends on how much fish stick put out. Okay, so Craddock, yeah, he's they're. Again, corrupt. It's corrupt. I'm sure probably most of you are probably not surprised. Again, this comes from a commissioner. I need to know his name. There's some people higher up that have been spoken to, and they are aware of it, but they just don't know. They just I don't know why they can't do anything.
Value. It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No.
Why?
Because the investigation remains ongoing.
And so it could play a role down the road depending on developments?
We don't know what we don't know.
God almighty. Oh, and if you're wondering, I meant to, I wanted to do a little more research, but if anybody knows, remember how they did the landfill search on March 7th? So, a week and a half from when he went missing. From what I understand, they were only out there, I could be wrong, again, I got to look this up some more. But from what I understand, they were only out there for a day or half a day. If anybody's covered true crime, when they go out to landfills, they're out there for days, right? Because this is a landfill. And they're out there, because they're digging through trash, and they're out there. I forget the one case in California. Oh God, they were out there for it felt like weeks, because they're pretty sure she was thrown in a trash chute. God, I can't think of her name. Maybe somebody else in the chat. So where the girl went to an apartment. She was seen walking her dog. She ended up in a fancy apartment. There was a party, and then apparently she overdosed, and they freaked out. And then this high-rise fancy apartment in California, they put her in the trash chute because they panicked, and they went to the landfill, and they couldn't find her. I heard 8 hours, but I want to be careful. But just really weird. Yes, it does, Debbie. It does. So I hope those people, I know some of these people are watching, and I know if there's anybody that's losing faith, don't lose faith. This case will be solved. This case will be solved, and those behind this will be, they'll get what's coming to them. It's a house of cards, and there's multiple threads. You got CPS, you got a civil suit, you got, here's a second, you got Craddock, where eventually he's going to be replaced. And let me show you an example. So again, here is, for those who don't know, this is James Burke. He was the police chief in New York. If you guys, oh shit, that one goes way too fast. Ooh. Hold on, let me pause that. But yeah, he stalled the case in the Gilgo, Long Island serial killer. And that's because there was a lot of things, but one of the main things is because he was, ordering escorts. And obviously the Rex Heuermann was obviously killing escorts. And so he didn't want the FBI involved in the case. He didn't want anybody, local law enforcement, county. He didn't want anybody. Because I think at least one angle, obviously, a lot of these ladies were coming forward trying to give their story. But obviously with him, ordering escorts, obviously, and then there was escorts coming forward saying like, yeah, I slept with the police chief. Yep. So he stalled that case. And God knows who Rex Heuermann could have killed. I know he did a lot of stuff before 2012, but I think he did. It's a big case, so I don't want to. But yeah, God knows how many lives could have been saved if this piece of junk, trash, wasn't arrested earlier. But eventually, karma comes around, right? So again, I know it looks bleak because there is corruption, but there is good people. There's more good people than bad. And of course, you get the narcissistic psychopaths that get into these certain positions, but there's always a day and time where you reap what you sow.
It is of no evidentiary value. It is of no evidentiary
reap what you sow. And so here is Craddock. He's going to go and tell. He kind of came in because the one guy, I think didn't the last one kind of like die like suspiciously, but elected him. So his thing ends at 2026, but it says he could possibly go to 2028 because he kind of came in halfway into a term, something like that. But yeah, Again, this is just one angle, one thread of many. That all it needs, again, all we need to do is pull one of these threads, CPS, civil lawsuit, one of these idiots messing up, us coming together, just keep grinding. One of these threads are going to get pulled, and the house of cards will fall. It will. It will. One day, the people responsible will be caught. Just a matter of time. I mean, you just got to keep grinding. Is that Mamacita? Is that how you say it? That's good. I love that. There was no bulb in the floodlight. Person in the chat has a pic. Bulb in the floodlight. Interesting. Thank you, Mamacita. I would like to see that. I'm not sure. Chris, please explain to me why the FBI can't step in if corruption is proven. Well, if it's proven, yeah, again, I don't know if I'm the right person to answer. That would probably be better for like Jennifer Coffindale, or a little more. I'd be kind of talking out my ass, really. I would assume, because it's more, obviously this case isn't overstate, isn't across states, at least that we know of, unless they could prove that. Then I think they could take it. Or if a crime happened on a federal piece of ground, or federal land. Again, it's a little out of my wheelhouse. So again, if there's somebody that knows more than that, please correct me. But again, the main thing I'm trying to say is you have all these threads. One of them is going to get pulled one of these days, and then it's just going to be a domino effect. Right? And I hope those people are watching, because it will. And we'll be here, and we'll have a tea party. And then I promise you, those people, because I know there are a group of people, including fish sticks, that has came across stuff that they turn their backs on. And it just makes me furious. So furious. I don't even know if I want to watch his response, because I'll watch it. Let's see. And it's funny, if I probably watch it again, I'm still not blocked. Just think about that. If I can watch his video, that means I'm not blocked. Just think about how many people he's blocked in this case. And I know somebody just gifted, and I'm going to get to that in just a minute. Think how many people he's blocked. He has not blocked me. And again, I don't want to toot my own horn or anything. There's a reason why. He knows that I have a good idea of what's been going on. And I have, surveillance. Oh, by the way, actually, I'll say this at the end of the video. All right, let's see what he's got to say. All right, let me put this over here because it's Twitter, and God knows what will pop up and get my channel down here on Twitter, huh? Ooh, I can't wait. I didn't do anything wrong. Nope, not blocked. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Oh boy, let's see what he's got to say. What we got? Oh, 4 minutes. You guys ready for this? I have not seen this. Oh, let me get this because this is amazing. Navy Mom US gifted 20 mob crew memberships. That is so awesome. Navy Mom Us, thank you so much. God bless you. That is amazing. We will do a Members Live Sunday. That is awesome. And if you did, can you please if you did get gifted, if you could thank Navy Mom, that is awesome. Yeah, no, I'm not blocked. He's blocked. How many people? I'm sure half the people in this chat are probably blocked by him, right? He hasn't blocked me. Just think about why he hasn't blocked me. Oh, he did release it. Oh, he's dumb as... Oh my God, he did release it. He did release it. Oh my God, what a scammer. Oh, what a dirtbag. I can't believe this. He's going to release this one. Oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Wow. What a dirtbag. Again, this guy's not hiding or anything. I know this, and again, so here he's releasing it with all the wide angle. Again, so he's betraying the source that he got this footage from. I cannot tell you how much this pisses people off. Wait, does this even got the timestamp in it? Okay, it does. Did I download it? I just want to make sure I downloaded it. Wow. And again, he didn't respect the homeowner. I cannot tell you how pissed off this homeowner was when he released the footage. Again, I know what this is already because I have the footage. I'm just wondering, is he narrating it? Where is it? Let's see. Did it not save where I wanted it? Oh, I saved video frame. Oh, my bad. Hold on. There we go. Oh, it went to the other one. Okay, hold on. Don't want to show a certain folder. Sorry, guys. I got it. Oh, gosh. There we go. We'll just save it there. Boink. Okay, you guys ready? I hope he narrates on it. Here it is. Oh, my God. It kind of pisses me off because I've always been very respectful to this homeowner. I can't believe he's really... This is why, again, this homeowner was furious. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, I'm going to play it. There's nothing to hide. I already know what's in this. Does he narrate? Yeah, so again, it's 10:17, and yep, and I'll give you the backstory. I'll have to get permission to get the backstory, but what a ridiculous person this is, man. Wow. Remember, this is 10:17. This would be shortly after. Sebastian's still supposed to be at his home right now. So I don't know even what this proves. Yeah, there's a guy with the flashlight walking around. Absolutely ridiculous. So does he even narrate? Oh, I guess there'd be the post. What does he say in the post? Okay, so is he hiding? He's got a flashlight. Either they're looking for the cat. Oh my God, so suspicious. Look at this. Oh my gosh. There's a guy with a flashlight. At 10:18. Remember, it's 10:18. Sebastian went to bed at 9, allegedly. The thud was heard at 10, an hour later. So, again, he's supposed to still be in bed, right? Because remember, Katie's on the couch. So how is he supposed to escape? Remember, he's not supposed to escape until midnight. Again, where's critical thinking, fish sticks? What happened to critical thinking? How are you in this business? How could you? Oh my, this is so God, this is so disgusting. Again, for anybody who doesn't know, it's 22:19. 22 is military time. It is 10:19. Remember, Katie is supposed to be on the couch. She can clearly see down to the front room or to the front door. Sebastian got out. She would have known, right? Unless this is all, they're lying. So again, what is this? He's literally, I think he's looking for the cat. This is so retarded. This is his response? Do you see him hiding behind a car? God, I was hoping to calm down, right? And he couldn't at least be respectful to the homeowner. It just, wow. Just burned so many bridges. And again, this is pissing the neighborhood off. And I guarantee you, I'm going to talk to my sources here. Again, nothing happening. Pretty sure he's looking for a cat. I could be wrong. I'll speak with the sources. But you'll notice that a cat, because I think they have multiple cats. Yes, he's sitting right here. Again, I'm not going to zoom in because again, this is just a teenager, and this is just, I can't believe you're doing this. This kid looks like he's lying in wait for Sebastian Rogers, who is still, I don't know how Sebastian Rogers is supposed to get out of the home when Katie's sitting on the couch. Yeah. Such horse shit, man. Wow, you have no soul. Holy shit. Again, where's the footage of the guy hiding behind the car? I'm still waiting for that. That's the one I'm interested in, right? The one that you told local news on the anniversary. There's somebody hiding from the guy walking his dog. Where's that footage? I'm waiting for that one, Fish Sticks. Please enlighten me. I get it in my comments all the time. They go, hey, Fish Sticks said there's a guy hiding behind the car. Well, there isn't one. But, he says there is. Well, go ask him to prove it, right? But we know there isn't. It was all horse shit. He got paid a bunch of money, and he had, I don't know if he had a contract, but, he had to produce something because, again, I guarantee he knows the kid never made it out. There's way too many cameras. And then after the anniversary, the fact that he was trying to rally people up for this ground penetrating radar, and we've worked on a case. I've shown it before in Texas where we did GPR or it's the other one, ERI, electronic resistant imaging. Yeah, ERI. It's kind of the same thing, just kind of different equipment, but it more or less does the same thing. Super expensive. The equipment's super expensive. You gotta. Sometimes the person may just know the equipment, but doesn't know how to analyze it. I mean, typically they do, but usually they have multiple fields. And he literally was going to try to raise people, get money. Raise people. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted here, but try to raise money for this cause that would have been absolute horseshit. You can't get him to the construction zone, but you want to go and get people riled up and make them think that he's out there and literally get people to waste a bunch of money on nonsense. It is a joke. Yeah, what he has done, he literally just proved he has no effing soul. I can't believe that. I am so upset right now. Holy shit. It's 10 o'clock. It's just a little after 10 o'clock. We heard the thud. Remember, the thud's an hour later. So, again, and Katie's on the couch, which looks towards, depending on the couch. But she's on the couch. If he comes out of his bedroom, goes out the door, she's going to hear it. Holy hell. What happened to critical thinking? Mob Crib, the grifter. Yeah, I'm a grifter. Right. I'm always asking for money. Dude. Is this guy... Oh, my God. This guy's a bot, man. Just released a bot. Yeah, I did. And I exposed the shit out of you. What else do you got to say? Oh, my God. Yeah, he's got... his sources, Bobby... No, I got many sources, buddy. I've got many sources. Here, before I read this, if you're listening or watching, You didn't get all the footage. You didn't get all the footage. And when I'm not talking about this, I'm not talking about this home. There's still footage out there, guys. I'm not going to say any more than that. But, yeah. Someone lied to you, fish sticks. And when that time comes, I'll tell you guys, of course, I'll back that up 100%. I don't want to say too much about it because, but yeah. Yep, there's somebody that did not want to give you footage. And it's very important. And yeah, maybe we can work something. Anyway, that's going to be a video for another day. I need to talk. And again, here, Bobby has done nothing. This guy, dude. Flashlight tag. Then record a phone call serves to Bobby after they recorded him. I pointed out my concern because one of her children was outside late at night. Oh my God, there's a kid out at night with a flashlight. Holy shit. So you're going to literally, in one of the biggest cases, if you follow true crime, there are nuts, literally people that are not right in the head and take what you said seriously and think that this kid may have had something to do with Sebastian Rogers' disappearance, go out, wait for that child to come out and murder him. Shame on you. Oh. I can't read the rest of this. I'll just get so fucking pissed off. He's a fucking soulless, heartless. Anyway, I'm done, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the language. Oh my God. I can't believe he would actually try to double down on that. What a heartless piece of shit. I'm sorry, guys. It just gets me so upset. You just don't do that kind of shit. You just don't. You don't. Because they didn't want to work with you because they knew you were a fucking scumbag. But no, you wanted to be a baby and try to throw some child in danger. You're scum. You are scum. I'm so sorry, guys. I really lost it. I knew I should have probably not read that because it just, again, he's a fucking bot. And that just lights a fire into my ass. So get ready for more footage and more videos. I'm not done with your ass. So thank you. I appreciate that. I do. I need to relax. I need to just get off. I am so... Again, he's burning the sources that shared that footage with him, thinking that, he's trying to actually help in the case. And they didn't know that he was going to show the entire, their front porch. That, I've always been, if you see the footage I show, I never show their porch or anything. I try to be respectful because, again, I have multiple sources. And again, one day like I said, there's somebody on your team that, again, but anyway, let's say that. Thank you, Jules, for the $20. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'm so sorry I lost it at the end. I've seen it. I've worked on these cases where you get people, again, the Dylan Rounds case, there were some nuts that came around, in that case, right? Look at the YouTuber beefs where someone got killed, the YouTuber killed another YouTuber. There's people that are just not right in the head. And again, they'll start believing things that people say and take that, full-heartedly, again, because they're not right in the head. And then, they're invested in the Sebastian Rogers case and then hear that this kid, out at night, at 10 o'clock when still Sebastian's at home. Again, critical thinking, but that just goes out the window, I guess, when you're getting paid really good money. But it's so funny. The first two words, grifter. That's his only argument is grifting, right? Yeah, he's been paid more than anybody. Yeah, this is my job. I'm a YouTuber. I've been getting paid for 3 years. Grifting. It's such a stupid word, right? It's so dumb. It's just, dude. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I really got upset at the end there. I mean, I like to try to be snarky, but it just sucks because again, wow. What did you guys see anything suspicious? I will have to zoom in and I'll show. Well, no, I'll have to be kind of careful because I don't want to show his face. Again, it's a teenager, and these kids. I'm not going to say what they do, but they're going to end up being heroes, and that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to get into what. And again, they were the first ones that morning when they found out that there was a missing kid. They were first ones out there trying to help search for this kid. And that's how you repay them. You disgusting pig, soulless, heartless piece of shit. Those kids were out there first minute. And again, if you knew what they're doing now, what their profession's going to be, it would make total sense why they were out there first thing. Wow. All right, I'm going to end it there. We'll do a pet outro, and we'll have a live on Sunday, and we'll get a members live. And thank you to everybody that I hope I got everybody at the end here. Again, yeah, thank you, Jules, and enjoy life. Send in your protection love. Thank you so much, and again. I really do apologize for getting a little out of hand there. Again, I don't know everything, but I know enough, and it's just clear as day what he was doing. Anyway, I'm going to end it because I'm so upset right now. I got to cool down. Holy hell. What a piece of shit he is. Scumbag. So anyway, well, there, you got your footage. Again, a nothing burger. So, again, your viewers are still waiting for the person that is hiding behind the car. I'm still waiting for that. But I can tell you that's never going to come. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'm sorry if I didn't get to everybody's chat, and I really did get offhand there. I'm so sorry. We'll find out. But again, I love how he uses Bobby, but again, I have more sources than Bobby. Trust me, especially when you just think about when, again, this is to Fish Sticks, when you released the footage, that homeowner was fucking pissed. And that sparked some fires under multiple neighbors. So keep that in mind. That's on you, buddy. And you reap what you sow. Much love to you guys. I'll keep fucking tearing this guy down because it is just nuts. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. We'll see you Sunday. I'll try to get a video out for Lily and Jack, and yeah. Wow. All right. I love you guys. Pet outro.
Hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just picking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Counting like the 4-leaf clovers in my